Last night, I thought I made it out of Blackwood Road alive. I was wrong, because ever since I left that place, something followed me home. The police said the road was abandoned. No houses, no residents, no history of anyone ever living there. But I know what I saw, and I know someone was watching me. If you haven't heard my first story, Blackwood Road is a forgotten stretch of asphalt hidden deep inside the forest. No signal, no streetlights, just trees and silence that feels alive. I drove through it during a storm. My car radio died, my headlights flickered, and then I saw the house, standing alone at the side of the road, every window dark except one. The upstairs window. Someone was standing there.
Tonight's story is called Blackwood Road, Episode 2, You Never Left. A story about a phone call that should never have been answered. The footsteps stopped right outside my bedroom door, not walking anymore, just standing there. I held my breath and listened carefully. The hallway light was still on, spilling a thin line of yellow across the floor. I could see the shadow beneath the door, long, unmoving, patient, like someone waiting for permission to come in. Seconds stretched longer than they should. The silence felt wrong. Too heavy, too aware. My heartbeat sounded loud in my ears. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe a neighbor. Maybe I was still half asleep. But deep down, I already knew that wasn't true. Then, 3 slow knocks touched the door. Not loud, not aggressive, almost polite. Knock, knock, knock. Each sound landed gently, as if whoever stood outside didn't want to scare me. They wanted me awake. They wanted me listening. My throat felt dry. I couldn't speak, couldn't even swallow. The doorknob moved slightly. A tiny metallic click echoed through the room. It didn't open. It only turned, then stopped, like someone testing the lock, checking, learning. A cold realization crept into my mind. I never unlocked that door. I always lock it before sleeping. Always. My eyes stayed fixed on the handle, waiting, praying it wouldn't move again. The air grew colder, not normal cold, the kind that feels like something entered the room without opening a window. And then I heard breathing, slow, uneven, right outside the door, close enough that I could imagine a face pressed against the wood, listening to me breathe, the same way I was listening to it. And then came the whisper, soft, familiar, impossible. You shouldn't have left Blackwood Road. My entire body froze because I recognized that voice instantly. It wasn't a stranger. It wasn't a ghostly echo. It sounded exactly like me. The same tone, the same rhythm, the same voice I hear every day inside my own head. And before I could react, the doorknob turned slowly, not forced, not rushed, just a quiet movement, as if whoever stood outside knew they had all the time in the world. The metal clicked, once, twice, then the door creaked open. Only a few inches, enough for darkness to slip into my room. I couldn't move. My body refused to listen. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but fear pinned me to the bed. The hallway light stretched across the floor, revealing the edge of the open door. I waited to see a face, a hand, anything, but nothing appeared. Only shadow, only silence. Then the door opened wider, slowly, carefully, like someone trying to not wake me, even though they knew I was already awake. Cold air flooded the room. My skin prickled instantly, and I heard footsteps again, this time inside my bedroom. One step, pause, another step, closer to the bed. The floor creaked beside me. Something stood near my side. I could feel it, that heavy awareness you sense when someone is staring directly at you. I kept my eyes closed, pretending to sleep, praying it would leave. The breathing returned, right above me now, slow, deep, matching my own breath perfectly. Then the mattress sank slightly, like weight pressing down beside me. I felt warmth near my ear, and a whisper followed, soft, almost gentle. "You came back." My heart nearly stopped, because I never returned to Blackwood Road. At least, I never returned physically. A trembling thought crossed my mind. What if Blackwood Road came back with me? I forced my eyes open, and the space beside my bed was empty, but the bedroom door was closed again. I didn't sleep again that night. I stayed sitting on the bed until morning light finally touched the window. Nothing moved. No footsteps, no whispers, just silence. Almost normal, almost safe. When the sun came up, I convinced myself it had been a nightmare. Sleep paralysis, stress. Anything logical felt better than the truth. I checked the bedroom door. Still locked. Exactly how I remembered leaving it. The hallway was empty. No signs anyone had entered. No footprints. No sound. I laughed nervously at myself. Maybe my mind was playing tricks. Maybe Blackwood Road was already fading from memory. I walked into the kitchen and poured a cup of coffee, trying to reset the morning. That's when I noticed something strange. My phone was lying on the counter. I was certain I left it charging beside my bed. The screen was already awake, recording. A video file was open. Timestamp 3:17 a.m. My hands trembled as I pressed play. The camera angle showed my bedroom. Dark. Silent. I watched myself sleeping. Completely still. The door slowly opened on its own. Exactly like I remembered. Except this time, the camera captured something I never saw. A shape entered the room. Tall. Human-like. But wrong. Its movements lagged. Like a shadow struggling to keep form. It walked to my bedside and leaned down toward my face. The audio crackled softly. Then a whisper filled the recording. Clear. Undeniable. You brought me home. The figure turned toward the camera, and for one single frame, I saw its face. It was mine. Smiling. Wide. Unnaturally wide. The video ended by itself. But my phone was still recording. The camera now pointed at me, standing in the kitchen, watching.
I told myself not to panic. There had to be an explanation. A glitch. A hallucination. Anything. But my hands wouldn't stop shaking. I picked up my phone again, hoping the video had somehow changed. Maybe I imagined the face. Maybe exhaustion was playing tricks on me. The screen reflected my expression. Pale, wide-eyed, afraid. Behind my reflection, the kitchen looked normal. Sunlight coming through the window, coffee still steaming on the counter. Everything felt real, grounded, safe. I lowered the phone slowly, and that's when I noticed it. The reflection didn't move right away. For half a second, it stayed frozen, still staring at the screen, even though I had already moved. My breath caught in my throat. I raised the phone again. The reflection followed, perfectly normal. I lowered it once more. Again, a delay. Small, almost invisible, but impossible to ignore. My reflection was reacting late, like someone watching me through a slow connection. I stepped sideways. The reflection hesitated, then copied me. A cold wave spread through my chest. I leaned closer to the black screen. Closer. Closer. The face staring back suddenly smiled. I didn't. I swear I didn't. But the reflection's lips stretched wider. Too wide. Too knowing. Its eyes stayed locked on mine. And then it lifted its hand, not matching my movement, not mirroring me. It waved, slowly, like greeting an old friend. My phone slipped from my fingers and hit the floor. The screen cracked loudly. When I looked down again, the reflection was normal. Only me, only fear. But from somewhere behind me, I heard footsteps inside the apartment. Again. The footsteps moved slowly across the apartment. Not rushing, not hiding, walking openly, like whoever was inside knew they belonged there. I stood frozen in the kitchen, afraid to turn around. Every sound felt amplified. The ticking clock, the hum of the refrigerator, my own breathing growing louder. The footsteps stopped behind me, close enough that I felt warmth at my back. I forced myself to speak. "Hello?" My voice sounded weak, unfamiliar. No answer came, only silence. Then my phone began to ring. The sound shattered the stillness. The screen lit up on the floor beside me. Unknown number. No caller ID. The ringtone echoed through the apartment. I hesitated before picking it up. My hands trembled as I answered. "Hello?" Static filled the speaker. Soft, crackling, like wind moving through trees. Then a voice emerged, distant, distorted, but unmistakable. It was my own voice again, calm, patient, waiting. "Why did you leave?" The line hissed loudly. I couldn't breathe. "I never left," the voice continued. "You're still here." Behind me, the footsteps resumed, slowly circling. The voice on the phone whispered again, "Look outside." Without thinking, I turned toward the window. My stomach dropped instantly. The street outside my apartment was gone. No cars, no buildings, no neighbors. Only a narrow road stretching into darkness. Wet asphalt, tall trees on both sides, endless forest. I recognized it immediately. Blackwood Road. The call ended. The screen went black. And somewhere inside the apartment, another phone began to ring.
The second phone kept ringing somewhere inside the apartment. Slow, persistent, impossible. I followed the sound carefully. Each step felt heavier than the last. The ringing came from the hallway, from my bedroom. The door was closed again, exactly like before. I reached for the handle. My hand hesitated. Part of me already knew what waited on the other side. The ringing stopped. Silence returned instantly. I opened the door. The bedroom looked normal. Bed unmade, curtains moving slightly from the air conditioner. Nothing unusual, nothing alive. But on the bed, another phone rested on the pillow, identical to mine. Same case, same crack across the screen. The screen lit up by itself. Incoming call. Caller ID, Blackwood Road. My chest tightened as I answered. No greeting, no static, only breathing. Slow, patient. Then my voice spoke again, calm, certain. You finally understand now. I stepped backward. The room suddenly felt unfamiliar, wrong, like I was standing inside a memory instead of my home. The voice continued. You didn't escape. You brought the road with you. The lights flickered once, twice, and for a brief moment, the walls of my bedroom disappeared. I saw trees surrounding me, fog drifting across the floor, wet asphalt beneath my feet. I was no longer inside my apartment. I was standing on Blackwood Road again. The phone slipped from my hand. When I looked up, someone stood at the end of the road. My silhouette, perfectly still, waiting. The figure slowly raised its hand, inviting me forward. And before everything faded back to darkness, I heard one final whisper. Welcome home. If you enjoy late-night stories like this, feel free to subscribe. You can also turn on notifications so you'll know when the next story arrives. I'll see you again very soon. The recording ended shortly after that moment. No further footage was recovered from the device. What happened on Blackwood Road remains unknown, but one detail continues to appear in every report. The same time, 3:17 a.m. If you have experienced anything similar, document everything. Do not travel alone at night. And if you ever see a road that doesn't exist on your map, do not enter. This archive will continue updating as new evidence emerges. Stay aware, stay observant, and stay off Blackwood Road.